Hello and welcome back to reaDIYsteaDIY. If it's your first time here, thank you for joining us. Well, if you checked out last week's video, you know I talked about no-hook ratchet straps. We did a quick comparison between those and standard ratchet straps. If you haven't seen that video, I'd recommend you go back and take a look at that first. We did a quick comparison, but I didn't get a chance to show you some applications for a no-hook ratchet strap and how they work. So today we'll dive a little deeper and we'll go through a couple of examples of what circumstances you might want to use a no-hook ratchet strap in instead of a standard ratchet strap. So let's get started. So last week we went over the difference between a no-hook ratchet strap and a standard ratchet strap with hooks that you would find at a big box store. We went over how the standard ratchet strap wants to use the hooks to attach the tie-down points and flatten itself out into a straight line. And if a load gets in the way of the ratchet strap flattening itself out, it will de facto tie that load down and pin it to whatever surface the tie-down points are connected to. Could be a wall, could be a floor, wherever the tie-down points happen to be. And then we compared that with the no-hook ratchet strap, which is really more of a bundling style of ratchet strap. There are no hooks on it. You just take the free end of the webbing, wrap it around whatever items you want to bundle together, feed the free end back through the windlass of the ratcheting mechanism, pull it tight and ratchet just like any other ratchet strap. In fact, the ratcheting mechanism is exactly the same as a standard ratchet strap. It's just there's no hooks or butterfly clips or any hardware of any kind on the ends of the ratchet strap. Typically, and most commonly, you'll find this used in the cargo world. They often have, large shipments of boxes or whatever it is sitting on tops of wooden pallets. And in order to secure the load to the pallet, sometimes they use a no-hook ratchet strap. You lay the ratcheting mechanism on top of your load, you take the long piece of webbing down one side, through the pallet at the bottom, up the other side, back into the windlass of the ratcheting mechanism, pull it taut, begin to ratchet, and then you're done. That way your load is secured to the pallet. Obviously, this is going to create a bit of a conundrum if you're ratcheting a soft load, some cardboard boxes, for example. So in that world, they protect those loads using corners like these. They just sort of sit on the edge of the box or whatever you happen to have and protect it from getting crushed by the ratchet strap. That's one bundling instance these ratchet straps are good for, but there are other applications for this as well. Basically, anything you want to bundle, you can bundle. If you have a load of pipe, for example, this is a piece of equipment that I use for work. It's comprised of a number of pieces of schedule 40-inch-and-a-half pipe. They're welded together with joints and elbows and stuff, but wrapping it up at the end of the day is kind of tough. A no-hook ratchet strap is pretty helpful. Wrap it around, pull it tight, ratchet it tight, and you're good. Other applications for the no-hook ratchet strap, oftentimes in my line of work, we'll use an apple box like this one to raise an object or a person a little higher, and if you need to combine two, it's always safer to ratchet them together. Technically, that's bundling, and that's where the no-hook ratchet strap really shines. So as you can see here, I'm passing the free end of the webbing through the handles of the apple boxes, out the other side, up, back through the upper holes, and back down to the ratcheting mechanism, so I've created a loop that when it's tightened will bind these apple boxes together. Then I pass the free webbing up through the windlass, pull it taut, and ratchet. So now I've tightened a very strong loop between these two apple boxes. The bottom surface of the bottom apple box is free and unencumbered by webbing or hardware, as is the top. And there's only one piece of hardware that I have to manage, and that's the ratcheting mechanism. You can't get rid of that. You gotta have that if you're gonna do any ratcheting. But if I had done this with a standard ratchet strap that has hooks and just intertwined the hooks, I would have to figure out where those hooks were gonna sit in my loop and whether or not my application could handle that appropriately. They could stick out the side and make it a little bit cumbersome. They might get stuck inside the box depending on the length of the webbing between one of the hooks and the ratcheting mechanism. The no-hook ratchet strap eliminates that problem. In this application, it's just way more elegant. The only piece of hardware that I have to balance and manage is the ratcheting mechanism itself. That's pretty convenient. So there you have it, part 2 of the no-hook ratchet strap. I hope that helped you out. I feel like people walk into big box stores and they just buy the ratchet straps that are there. And because those ratchet straps tend to be the same kind of ratchet strap every time, everybody just assumes you gotta use ratchet straps with hooks. But different ratchet straps come with different kinds of hardware on the end, and you don't need to have hardware at all necessarily if you don't want it. So I hope that helped you out. If it did, please feel free to like or subscribe. Hitting the thumbs up or subscribing really helps the channel, and I'd really appreciate that. Even if you don't, please feel free to leave a comment. Like I say every week, comments help me make the channel better, and that's what I'm after. So until next week, take care, stay safe, have fun with your DIY projects, and I'll see you next Saturday.